Good morning. My name is Miss Katie,
And I'm Miss Alicia.
and we are here with the Arizona Farm Bureau Ag in the Classroom program. And we're so excited to be here with you today to talk about one of our favorite things.
Agriculture.
How many of you guys have heard of agriculture before? Raise your hand. Yeah, not as many as I'd hoped, and that's okay. How many of you guys have heard of a farmer or a rancher before? Raise your hand. That's more what I thought it would be, right? Most of us have heard of a farmer or a rancher. So when you hear the word agriculture, I want you to think of a farmer or a rancher. So let's talk about what our ranchers do. Ranchers, if you're still not sure who they are, those are our cowboys and cowgirls. And it is their job to take care of three different types of animals. Raise your hand if you can tell us one animal that a rancher takes care of.
Horse.
I heard horse. That's right. Our cowboys and cowgirls, they ride around on their horses as a form of transportation to gather their what other animals? Cows. Very good. And the type of cattle that our ranchers take care of are beef cattle. Can you guys say beef cattle? Beef cattle. Very good. Now, beef cattle give us beef. Things like
Hamburger.
steak, roasts, beef jerky, right? All of those delicious things. We also get a lot of other things from our beef cattle too, but beef is the main product that we get. So now we know our ranchers, they have horses, they have beef cattle, and they do take care of one other animal. Yes, they do have dogs, but I'm thinking of a little different animal, and it's tricky. So why don't you go ahead and make the noise for them, right? So our ranchers, they take care of horses, they take care of beef cattle, and they also take care of
Bah.
sheep. Very good. I knew you guys would get that one. She sounded silly. All right. So what do we get from sheep? Wool. Very good. So we give them a haircut and we take that wool and we use it to make all sorts of things to keep us warm. Things like
Blankets.
jackets, scarves, hats, mittens, socks, all of those things, right? So it's very important that our ranchers take good care of those animals. So now we know ranchers take care of horses, beef cattle, and sheep. Farmers. Do they also take care of animals? You're right, they do. Do they take care of the same animals as ranchers or different? Different. Very good. So what is an animal that a farmer takes care of?
I heard pig.
Pigs. What do we get from pigs, Alicia?
Bacon.
Sausage,
Pork chops.
ham, right? All of those delicious things. So, okay, they take care of pigs. What else do they take care of?
Chickens.
Yes, chickens. What do we get from chickens?
Chicken nuggets.
Eggs. I heard eggs. Of course, we get eggs. We can get brown eggs or white eggs. That depends on the breed of chicken, right? We love all of those eggs. And of course, those chicken nuggets, chicken wings, and all of those things, right? All right. Now, the last animal that a farmer takes care of is similar to an animal that a rancher takes care of. Do you know what it is? Cows. Very good. But the type of cows that our farmers take care of are called dairy cows. Can you guys say dairy cow? Dairy cow. Very good. And of course, what do we get from dairy cows?
Milk.
We get milk from dairy cows. And we can use that milk to put on our cereal, dip our cookies in, just drink. Or we can also use it to make all of those amazing dairy products like
cheese,
butter,
yogurt,
ice cream, my favorite, right? So we know that all of those animals are very important in agriculture that our farmers and ranchers take care of because they provide us with so many different things. So now we know that farmers and ranchers take care of animals, but do our farmers also do something else? You're right. They do. What do they do? That's right. They grow things. And what do we call those things they grow?
Crops.
Crops. Can you guys say crops? Crops. Very good. Now, crops are things like fruits and vegetables and fibers, things like cotton or even grains like wheat, barley, oats, and rye. But today we're going to focus on our fruits and vegetables because I know you all know all about them. So we're going to list off some different vegetables and some different fruits. When we say the name, if you like to eat those things, we want you to raise your hand. So raise your hand if you like to eat broccoli. Broccoli. Yeah, broccoli eaters.
What about carrots?
How about cauliflower?
Ooh. What about corn?
Asparagus.
What about squash?
Brussels sprouts. All right, all those yummy vegetables. We know there's a lot more, right? But that's it for now. How about fruits? Who likes to eat fruit?
Yeah.
I love fruit. All right, how many of you raise your hand if you like to eat apples?
What about watermelon?
Oranges?
Peaches?
Pineapple?
Blackberries?
Strawberries?
Papayas?
Raspberries?
Blueberries?
Ooh, avocado? Lots of good ones. How about my favorite? How many of you like pumpkin?
I love pumpkin.
Right? Pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread, all of those amazing pumpkin things. Okay, so now you guys know that farmers and ranchers take care of animals and they grow crops. And when you think of the word agriculture, we want you to think of farmers and ranchers. So that's the animals and crops that are grown for us for food and all of those other things. But we told you guys our favorite crop that farmers grow is pumpkins. So today we're going to learn all about pumpkins. And to do that, we are going to begin with a story. And our story today is called Pumpkin Circle by George Levinson. Now, before we begin, I need you to show me that you are ready to listen. So crisscross applesauce on your pockets, hands in your laps, ears open, mouths quiet, and eyes up here. Look at that. You are ready to listen. Here we go. Pumpkin Circle.
The pumpkin seed makes the pumpkin plant, and the pumpkin plant makes pumpkins. Deep within each pumpkin, the air is damp and cool. The walls are lined with teardrop seeds, each one a slippery jewel. Scrape them from their orange cave, wash away squishy mush. Save a few to grow next spring, and have a bunch to munch. When the earth is soft and warm, plant those sleeping seeds. In about 1 week, out they peek, 2 fresh, young, fat, green leaves. This garden will be home to many pumpkin cousins. 1 big pumpkin family, 5 varieties. Each one started from different pumpkin seeds. Every passing minute awakens each new plant, reaching down with silky roots, reaching up to dance. Week by week, the backyard patch spreads before your eyes, filling every inch of space with leaves and roots and vines. Huge green leaves grow toward the sky, prickly, lush, and wide. They soak up sun and water and make a shady place to hide. Twisty tendrils grasp like hands, stretching out to cling. They roll down into fancy curls and wind up just like springs. Then, silently as angels, flower buds appear with pointy little collars and gleaming silver hair. Velvet petals open, brilliant sunlit bowls, delicately fragrant, a sign of pumpkin gold. Along come the bees, floating through the air. Buzzing, gathering, guzzling, zooming everywhere. Butterflies and spiders, grasshoppers and snails explore the pumpkin gardens as they travel private trails. 100 days of weather, 100 days of care. Pumpkins climbing up the fence, pumpkins everywhere. Help those pumpkins sit up straight so they grow up round and proud. Scratch on pumpkin names so they stand out in the crowd. Or just sit back, enjoy the view. Pumpkins grow because pumpkins know exactly what to do. When summer turns to fall, green turns to gold. Shorter days bring chilly nights, and pumpkin vines grow old. Now comes the harvest. Pluck treasures from the vine. Clear away lifeless leaves. Hide the rags of time. Gather up the finished fruit, ripe and fully grown. Tidy up the garden. Make a cozy pumpkin home. Salute the pumpkin circle. Make way for pumpkin cheer. Behold the pumpkin miracle. We're pumpkin millionaires. Make up pumpkin faces, add bright candlelight, set them on your doorstep, let them flicker through the night. Every day those pumpkins change, getting older, getting strange. Sinking, shrinking, pumpkin. Back to earth you go, turning into muck and dirt, a place for seeds to grow. How did this begin? What is this pumpkin thing? Is there a Mother Nature? Is there a pumpkin king? We can be sure of this. It's a circle without end. It's pumpkin seeds to pumpkins, to pumpkin seeds again.
Did you guys like that story? I thought you might. So we are actually going to give this book to your teacher to keep here in your classroom library. And that way you will have this story here to read anytime you want to remember what we learned about today. Does that sound good? All right. Now, Miss Alicia, they were really good listeners, weren't they?
Yes, very good.
But now I think maybe we should see what they remember from the story.
Okay.
Do you think they remember a lot?
I don't know.
Do you guys remember a lot? Of course you do. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna go over the life cycle or the stages that the pumpkin grows in. Can you guys remember what the first stage of the pumpkin is?
Seed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so I want you to imagine that this is a big, giant pumpkin. So use your imagination. Okay.
Pretend.
All right, so it's a big pumpkin. So the first stage of that pumpkin was you guys said a seed.
Seed. Look at that. What color's our seed, guys? It's brown, or it could be a tan color, right? Very good.
Okay, and so what do we have to do with that seed? What does that seed need to grow?
That's right. We plant it in the soil, the dirt or the soil. Very good. And we have to make sure it has plenty of water and warmth from the sun. Very good.
Okay, so once we planted it and we let it be in the soil with warm sun and water, what happens next?
Sprouts. Very good. And what color were the leaves? Green, green leaves, green leaves. Very good. Well, that happens. We came untied. That's all right. All right. So our pumpkin seed sprouted, right, into our pumpkin leaves.
So those two leaves pop up and they're green. And then
That
after
grows bigger and bigger into our pumpkin vine. Remember, big green, long pumpkin vine. And then what appeared on our pumpkin vine that the bees came to visit?
the flower, good.
Blossom. Good word, friend. Pumpkin blossom.
Alright.
What color was our pumpkin blossom? Do you remember what the book said? Gold.
Gold.
That's right. Kind of an orangey yellow color, right?
Uh-huh.
So the bees came and visited our pumpkin blossom and it grew into a baby what color pumpkin? Green. Good
Green.
job. And our baby green pumpkin grew larger into what color? Yellow.
Yellow.
And finally our
Giant orange pumpkin.
pretty cool.
Awesome.
Now, what happens if we were to cut that open, Miss Alicia, and put our hands inside? What would we find?
Ooh, seeds. A whole bunch of
More
squishy.
seeds. We'd find more
squishiness and
seeds. Now, could we take that seed, plant it in the soil, and get all of those things again?
Yeah, we could.
And
So-
that's why
It's a whole cycle.
it keeps on going.
The life cycle, it's a big circle. So we plant a seed, it gets the leaves, the blossom, the green, the yellow, and the orange pumpkin, and then we get more seeds. So it keeps going.
So as long as we have seeds or as long as we have pumpkins, well, we'll always have pumpkins. It's the never-ending cycle. Okay, so we have something really fun for you guys today. Today, you are going to make your very own life cycle of a pumpkin. Woo! But we're not going to make this life cycle of a pumpkin because that takes a really long time and we don't have that much time. So today we're going to make something just as fun, and it is the life cycle of a pumpkin spinner. Look at how cool that is. We all like to spin things, right?
Yep.
Are you guys excited about this? Yeah, I thought you would be. Okay, so while we were visiting here with you, your teacher passed out to you at your seats 2 pieces of paper. So you're going to find 2 and they're going to look like this, a pumpkin and then a circle, right? How funny is that? What was the name of our book? Pumpkin Circle. All right, so you have your pumpkin and you'll have a circle worksheet on your desk. And then you will also have, it doesn't matter what color it is, but you're going to have a brad or this little pokey thing, okay? Now, it's important when you get back to your seat that you do not touch the brad. Are you going to touch the brad? No, we're not going to touch the brad, okay? So when you get back to your seats, when I say the magic word, which today is going to be pumpkin, what's the magic word? That's right. When I say that magic word, you're going to go to your desk, but not till then, okay? Because when we get back to our seats, you're going to want to listen very closely to the instructions because we're going to have to cut these out and we're going to have to color, okay? So lots of things that we have to do. So we have to make sure we're still listening carefully. All right. When you get back to your seats, are you going to touch the brads? No, very good. All right. Pumpkins. All right, nicely, quietly, find your way back to your seats. Listen to how quiet they're being.
I can't even hear them.
I'm so proud of you guys. Very good. Nicely and quietly. Very good. Remember, don't touch the brad, and we're not cutting or coloring yet, okay? The worksheets are just sitting there on your desk. Wait till our last couple of friends get seated. Excellent. Okay. Now, everybody is going to need a pair of scissors, okay? So you're going to get a pair of scissors. And the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to work with the pumpkin worksheet, okay? So you should have your scissors and your pumpkin worksheet. And what I want you guys to do is cut along the outside lines. The outside lines, only the outside, not on the inside. So once you have that all cut, it's going to look like that shape right there. Okay, so that's the only piece that you're going to have. See how it's cut along the outside, and there's kind of a pie or pizza slice cut out of the center here. All right, so go ahead and begin cutting. Good job. Teachers, if you would like to pause us while they're cutting, you can go ahead and pause us before we move on to the next step. All right, excellent job cutting. Now we all have something that looks like this. I know yours isn't colored yet, and that's okay, but you did a fantastic job cutting out your pumpkin. And now it's time to cut out our circle. So using that same pair of scissors, you're just going to cut out this circle shape. So only right around the outside, okay? Only along the outside. Go ahead and cut out your circle. Teachers, feel free to pause us. All right, so now everybody should have their circle cut. It's not going to be colored yet, but you should have your circle cut out just like this, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to begin coloring, which happens to be one of my favorite parts. Who likes to color? I thought so. I love coloring. Okay, now the important thing though is we're not just coloring these any color. We have to remember back to our story and the colors we used, okay? Because you see on your pumpkin circle that you have seeds. Can you guys tell me what color the seeds were in the story? That's right. They were kind of a white or a tan, or you could even use brown. So I want everybody to get a brown and color your seeds really quickly. Okay. There's ours right there. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. And then go through all of the stages. So you know you take your seed and you plant it in the, well, yes, dirt, but we're going to call that soil. And of course, our soil is brown. So you're going to go ahead and color the soil brown. And then as you move along, what color's water? Clear, but we're going to call it blue for today, okay? And the sun, of course, is yellow. Our sprout was our little green leaves, remember? Our vines, those were green too. Our flowers were golden, so kind of an orangey yellow. Of course, a green pumpkin should be green. A yellow pumpkin should be yellow. Very good. And our orange pumpkin should be orange. So go ahead and begin to color your wheel.
Here's ours so you can kind of see what the colors are.
You don't have to color all of the triangles, all the slices, okay? For now, just color the outsides. And then once we get it put together, you guys can finish coloring if there's time. Go ahead and push pause on us while they're coloring. Excellent. All right, now that you guys have all of your pieces colored and cut out, we need to put them together, okay? So we want you guys to take both of your pieces and put your pumpkin on top of that wheel, okay? Put it on top of the wheel so that it lines up so that you can see that slice underneath, okay? And then you're going to take your brad, which is that really pointy thing. Your teacher might help you, and that is okay. Your teacher or your buddy, they might help you. And see how it's kind of pointy? Okay. You're going to take that and you're going to push it through both pieces of paper. Okay. Both pieces of paper. And then once it's through the piece of papers, it's going to be pointy like that. And then you're going to flatten it out. Take each piece and make it flat on the paper. And that'll hold your paper together so it can spin, okay? So when we see it this way, we'll get to see the life cycle of the pumpkin. All right, so go ahead and put your pumpkins together. All right, now that your pumpkins are all put together, let's review what we've learned today. Of course, to grow our big orange pumpkins, we have to have a seed, and we plant that seed in the
soil.
Very good. And once that seed's in the soil, we have to make sure it has plenty of
water
and warmth from the
sun.
And once it has all of those things, it sprouts. And what color are those 2 baby leaves?
Green.
Green. And then those sprouts, they grow bigger and bigger, and they grow into a pumpkin vine full of green leaves. Very good. And then what grows on that vine that the bees come to visit? The pumpkin blossom or the flower. Very good. And once that is pollinated, it develops into a baby green pumpkin, which grows bigger into a
yellow pumpkin.
And finally, we get our orange pumpkin. So there you have it, the life cycle of a pumpkin. We hope you guys had fun. We sure had fun with you today. And hopefully we'll see you a little later for Dr. Seuss. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.